Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's session, we are going to discuss a topic that is plain table surveying. Okay, so basically this is one of the kind of surveying. So as we have discussed the basic types of surveying, in which only two types we have described in our previous session, that is plain surveying and geodetic surveying. Again, the classification will be done based upon the instruments being used, based upon the methods of surveying, and many of the things are there based upon you can say the land, which kind of land it is. So there are numerous types are there by which we are going to categorize any kind of surveying. So this is one kind of surveying which we are going to discuss in today's session. So as you can see here that this is one of the point, that is the plain table surveying is that method of surveying in which the field work and plotting work is done simultaneously and no office work is necessarily required. It means that whatever may be the plotting we are going to done on site, that will be finalized. Again, you need not do it, or again you need not calculate the same while you are sitting in the office. So it is not a repetitive procedure. It's just simply you have to create whatever the plottings are there on the maps directly on the site. Now the second point is the plain tabling is generally adopted for surveys in which high precision is not required. Okay, whenever, because it is directly done on the side, so precision might be less. So that's why whenever you do not have to work in a precise manner, that time you can use this kind of plain tabling survey. Next is, it is mainly employed for a small scale or medium size mapping. Whenever there is a small kind of project, or you can say the small scale project, that time you can adopt this kind of surveying. Okay. So now the second is the equipment setting for the plain table survey. So there is a set format to place the plain table, to adjust it. Okay, so there are three steps you have to basically follow. The first one, which is very important, which is leveling the table. Okay, the plain table should be set up at a convenient height, nearly a meter, spreading the legs to keep the table approximately leveled above the particular section. It means, as we have seen that particular image in the previous slide, that is, whenever you are going to place the tripod stand on the ground, that time you have to be very careful that your tripod stand legs are properly adjusted. Okay, so you can level the table by three methods. The leveling is completed by using leveling screws. Either you can use this, okay, or by tilting the board by hand, whatever the board you are going to place over the tripod stand, that you can adjust by hand if the instrument has a ball and socket arrangement. Now the second is a level tube, which will be having the bubble. You can place on the table first, parallel to two screws, and then over the third screw. It means once you have to place it parallel and once you have to place it perpendicular. It means you have to place in two orientation, and if the bubble still remains in the center position, you can clarify or you can come to one conclusion that your leveling of the table is been set. Now the third is, if the leveling or the ball and socket arrangement is not provided, it means both of these two first options are not provided, you can go for the third option, and that is simply adjusting the legs of tripod stand. Okay. So now the third step is, you can see here, what is the third step? So what will be the third step? That orienting the table. Sorry, second step will be to orienting the table. Orientation may be defined as the operation keeping the table at each of the successive station to the position occupied by the table at the first station. Okay, thus all the lines on the paper will be parallel to the corresponding lines on the ground if the table is not oriented. This operation becomes necessary in case of more than one instrument station. Okay. Okay. So the second is if orientation is not done. Okay. If the orientation is not done, the board would not be parallel to itself at various instrument station, and the plan would be obtained by using different meridian at each station, and the relative plotted position of various points in the area will be quite different from the actual ones. Okay, that's why this orientation is also one of the important part of adjusting or placing or doing the plane table survey. There are two methods for orientation of the table. So the first is by backsighting. You might have heard something about the ranging rods. So we are going to place the ranging rods from where we want to plot the positions of your respective plane table for the respective plane table survey. So you have to place the ranging rod. You have to use alidade. So in my next upcoming video, I'm going to share one of important topic, that is the instruments being used for the plane table survey. So in that we are going to discuss elaborately how the instruments will be used to do the plane table survey or to follow the procedure of plane table survey. In that we will discuss these points in a brief manner. So second is by magnetic needle. You either can use by backsetting method, or you can go for the magnetic needle or compass, you can say. Okay. Now the third, which is very important, is centering the table. And centering the table is quite very simplest procedure, because centering is an essential step in the plane table survey, which is done by using frog and plumb bob. Okay, so plumb bob is just suspended at the ground from the table by using, you can say, the frog. Okay, and what we can do is, when it is being suspended, it should match the peg which is placed by assuming it as the center of the ground or center of your plane table, and it should suspend in such a manner that it should coincide the you can say the peg or your position or your center point on your paper as well. So on paper, to mark the center position, you are going to do this centering process. The centering means to set the table vertically on the ground point. To perform this operation, place the pointed end of the upper leg of the fork coinciding with the point on the paper and suspend the plumb bob. Suspend the plumb bob from the lower leg, okay, lower leg, and shift the table body until the plumb bob of the fork hangs precisely over the center of station peg. Okay, so this is also one of the important steps. Now, what are the methods which are used to do the plane table surveying? There are basically four methods by which we can do the plane table surveying. That is radiation method, intersection or triangulation method, traversing method, and resection method. So these methods will took some time to elaborate detail in a detailed manner. So in my next video, we are also going to dictate these methods in a very brief manner. So radiation method is being done from one single point. We have to mark it using ranging rods again. So whatever may be the procedure, whatever may be the advantages, disadvantages of all of these four methods, we are going to discuss in next sessions. Okay, hopefully. So I hope you guys like my video. So if you like it, please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank you guys.